Welcome to Firearms of America. Today, as you guys can see, I have some Skechers tactical boots, and these are Skechers Wascana Benen military and tactical boots. And let me tell you guys, I really want to like these boots because they are waterproof, they look great, they are comfortable, other than one major problem with the comfort level, which you will have to watch the whole review to find out what it is. But I really do want to like these. They are currently $60 on Amazon, and in fact there is an active coupon with which you can save almost $8. So for 50 bucks you can get these boots. Excellent outsole, excellent inner sole, so many excellent things about these boots, but there is one major problem. Alright, so if you have time to watch the whole review, which honestly, if you're considering to buy this boot, I really hope you do watch the whole review because I have some important things to tell you about these boots. Let's get into it. As some of you already know, this is not just your regular average boot review. This is review for my special section that is called Ultimate Survival Boots. So, if something bad happened, 2020 has been crazy, 2021 seems to be crazier so far, so you probably have a lot of survival situations in mind. And these are the boots you had in your house, and you put them on, and now you had to leave the house to get to the safety. You had to walk, run, climb, fight, whatever's necessary in your survival situation. These were the boots you were wearing. Would this be good for your survival? How do we make the judgment in this review? We make the judgment based on 8 different criteria. Let's get into it. Criteria number 1, the comfort level. Alright, like I said, overall, I really want to like this boot because pretty much 95% of everything is amazing with this boot except for one major problem. So let's start. How do I determine the comfort level? I do a test for all of the boots that I review on this channel, boots and shoes, because I do sometimes hiking shoes, trail running shoes. This is, overall it's great, right? But whenever I do my reviews, I do a 3-mile run without stopping, and then I do a 5-mile walk right after, again without stopping, no pauses in between, and that helps me kind of have a very non-biased comfort level judgment for everything that I review on this channel. So let's start with the good things first. First of all, of course, one of the factors that contributes or takes away from the comfort level is the weight. And overall, you would expect this to be on the heavier side because these are waterproof. These are, as you can see, the outsole is pretty thick. Only 23.1, which I have to say is really good. Now, to give you kind of a reference number whenever it comes to weight in general, this is size 10, by the way, so it's kind of, you have a clear understanding of where we stand. Obviously, if you go with a smaller size, it's going to be a little bit lighter. But if you want a more or less light boot that you can run in, that you can walk in for extended periods of time without getting tired from the weight on your feet, you want something under 20 ounce. 23 ounce is pretty good, so only 3 ounce over 20, not that bad, considering that they're waterproof, considering that they have a very thick outsole to give you that kind of protection, and reinforced more or less toe, very good construction. It's not that bad. Another thing that contributes to the comfort level is the inner sole. And whenever it comes to the inner soles, Skechers seem to get it right every time. So far, every Skechers that I have reviewed had an amazing inner sole. It's their relaxed fit memory foam inner sole. It's very soft, as you can see, and it gives you some breathability because it has these pores on the back. Great inner sole. I absolutely love it. It's helpful, especially whenever you're running, because it takes away the impact from, if you're running not properly, if you're putting some stress on your heel, obviously transfers to your ankles, to your knees. This inner sole helps a lot. That's good. Of course, we also do have all the padding on the tongue here, in the shaft, and you also do have a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit of padding on the inside. Nothing on the toe box on the inside of the toe box, so I kind of wish there was some padding, but you can solve this easily by implementing some socks. Some thicker socks will do the job. Okay, so let's get into the factor that kind of disappointed me in this boot overall. I want to like it, but I can't. It's one of those boots that, like some of you guys say, that needs to be broken in. Honestly, I don't believe in the break-in period. It's either comfortable out of the box or it's not comfortable out of the box. And here there's a major problem. There is this crease right here, which the way it breaks, it pushes into your toe, and literally after the first quarter mile of me running and then just throughout the whole thing, I started having these terrible pains in my toe, and it's always a Bose boot on the Bose feet. Really a design flaw in my opinion. It is just whenever boot manufacturers they make their boots, they really need to look out for these things. The way the creases break, it's very important, because like I said, these little things, it can ruin it for you. Now, if you're one of those people that does not mind to deal with the fatigue for weeks, for months, I don't know how long you believe in your break-in period, this definitely will get softer, and this will definitely adjust to your foot, all right? But you will go through a lot of pain and a lot of fatigue until then. Keep that in mind. If you're willing to deal with it, all right, go for it. Because look, over 1,000 reviews, almost 5 stars on Amazon, so there are a lot of people who are dealing with the break-in period. Okay, fine. If you want to do that, go for it. But like I said, I believe in it's either comfortable out of the box or not. Now, let's finish up with something good about this boot, all right, in the comfort level. Another thing that is really good with this boot is, if you notice, no matter how thick the outsole is, it is actually very flexible. So running in this boot, besides this major problem, you actually can run properly in this boot thanks to the very flexible outsole. Definitely a huge plus. So overall, on the comfort level, it would have been fantastic. It would have been fantastic if it wasn't for these crease break right here. All right, so let's move on to the criteria number 2, proofing and protection. Like I said, these are waterproof, all right? And you probably already noticed the gusseted tongue here. As you can see, the gusseting allows you for about 4.5 inches of waterproofing. Now the shaft is much taller, it's taller than 6 inches, so I'm not sure why Skechers did not implement at least another inch of waterproofing here by implementing more of gusseting and a little bit higher. But it is what it is. At least you get 4.5, so pretty decent. All right, now whenever it comes to the protection, you do have some decent amount of protection here. The outsole is pretty thick, so you have some protection from the bottom. The toe is reinforced in a way, as you can see, probably a good, let's see, probably a good 2.5 inches. So it's really not reinforced to the point where it can take on the impact of, you know, hammer falling or something like that. So not that much, but still it's nice to know that it is on the tougher side. Just like I said, make sure you implement some thicker socks to kind of protect you from that hardness, because there is nothing on the inside of the toe box that protects you from it. Of course, you do have some padding in the ankles. Not much. Keep in mind the ankles are still soft, so not much protection from the impact. And you do have the same reinforced heel as well. Let's move on to the criteria number 3 now, the quality and the design features. Quality wise, like I said, there are over 1,000 reviews on Amazon for these boots, and they're almost 5 stars. So people really do like these boots. Probably not for the comfort level, but definitely for the price and for all of the features that you get in these. And I mean, Skechers is an established brand. They do have a lot of things out there, so you know, it's definitely a trusted brand. Whenever it comes to the design features, usually here I talk about the lacing system, and lacing system here is really good. It's 4 closed holes. As you can see, the strings are very thin, so they slide through very nicely. It tightens very proportionally. Very good job there, Skechers. And you do get 2 open hooks, which is not typical to your tactical boots. Usually it is the hiking boots that implement those open hooks. But, you know, it's nice to have them. I personally like them, and I don't mind them, you know, on my tactical boots. It makes it very easy and fast to tighten and release the tension. If you're walking, for example, up the hill, you want to release the tension a little bit, you do that. Very good. Overall, I am very, very happy with this lacing system. Let's move on to criterion number 4, the outsole traction and stability. Now, to test that, whenever I do my run and my walk, I do that on a variety of different surfaces. I start with some older asphalt, going to the newer tarmac, then I go into the sand, dry sand, wet sand, dry grass, wet grass, rocky road, some trail surfaces, and then I finish with some marble, tile, some shiny flat surfaces. So, as you can see, this outsole is more on the flatter side. There isn't really much aggression aside from here at the very front and here at the very back. So, they do handle perfectly fine on asphalt, tarmac. They do handle pretty good on dry sand, wet sand. Decent on the rocky road because the outsole is so thick you don't really feel anything, you know, stepping on sharp rocks without any problems. The only thing that these do not handle very well would be some wet grass. They are pretty slippery on the wet grass, and it's because they don't have much aggression here in the middle. Keep that in mind. For example, if you're here in Florida like myself, they might be pretty slippery if you're working for, I don't know, doing something that requires walking through the wet grass in the morning, because in the morning most of the time, so grass is wet over here, all right? Might be slippery. I do like the fact that Skechers implemented the ridges over here, which do help whenever you're climbing a rope, climbing a tree, whatever you're climbing. A huge plus, you know, because this is ultimate survival boot review after all, so definitely a huge plus there. Now, whenever it comes to the snow and ice, really not much to talk about here because these are not insulated in any way, so they're not designed for winter. You can probably get away with some insulated socks, but whenever it comes to the outsole handling, they're going to be definitely very, very slippery on ice. There aren't really a lot of boots, unless you're buying specifically ice boots, that going to be, you know, good on ice out of the box. So keep that in mind. That brings me to the criterion number 5, actually, temperature. So these are really not designed for colder temperatures. They have no insulation at all. Now, you might get away with some insulated socks, like I said, with some colder temperatures, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. If you're looking for a winter boot, get specifically a winter boot, all right? But in the hot temperatures, these are fairly breathable, even though they're waterproof. They feel fairly light. So not too bad. And like I said, this inner sole definitely helps a lot with these pores right here. Let's move on to the criterion number 6 now, the sizing. Now, they definitely are true to the size, and whenever it comes to the boots, I always recommend getting at least half a size bigger than your normal shoe size. Not at least, half a size bigger than your normal shoe size. If you're wearing, 9.5 for your sneakers, for your dress shoes, get yourself size 10 in the boots to have a little bit of that extra space between your toe and the toe box. And especially in a boot like this is very important, where there is nothing really protecting you, no cushioning on the inside of the toe box. It saves you from unnecessary fatigue. It's going to be very helpful with a boot like this. Let's move on to the criteria number 7 now, the balance of application. So, if this really was your ultimate survival boot, something bad happened and you were wearing them, or you put them on and now you had to survive, right? Would they be good? Honestly, I think they are a great option, especially if you have them already broken in, right? And now they fit you perfectly. This crease doesn't bother you at all, and you've been wearing them for months, and they're good. I think it's a great option. The comfort level, other than this major problem, great. The features, great. The outsole is, fairly decent. Honestly, I wish there was a little bit of more aggression here in the middle, but still, it is pretty good. And considering the criteria number 8, which is the price, fantastic value. What you are getting here is absolutely fantastic value. For only $59 currently on Amazon, the link is in the description below. And if you are in time, if the coupon is still available, As of right now, there is a $7.50 discount coupon that you can apply, so you are getting these boots pretty much for 50 bucks. Absolutely fantastic value for $50. Like I said, if you don't mind waiting for this break-in period and this crease right here adjusting to your foot shape, other than that, you're gonna love these boots. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what you think about these Skechers tactical boots. What do you think about this review? Would you consider them as your tactical boots or your military boots? Would you consider them as your ultimate survival boots? Thank you very much, guys, for watching. This was Firearms of America. I'll see you guys in the next video.